Happening now, we're hearing directly from a father of a son who was hit by a car in Jamestown this month, what he wants to do to make that school area safe. Plus, New York's governor doubling down on her mask mandate requirement.
Well, it's going to be another mild day today. We could go for a record high once again tomorrow, but where is December? I'll tell you if it's coming next as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
The parent of a student hit by a vehicle while crossing the street next to a Jamestown middle school is demanding action after another student was struck by a car on the same road. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. We're hearing from the stepfather of a 6th grader who was hit earlier this month. This as an eerily similar accident took place on the same street yesterday. On December 1st, Matthew Canby's stepson Jonathan was hit by a vehicle crossing Hazeltine Avenue while headed back to Purcell Middle School after stopping at a nearby 7-Eleven.
There was a school bus that was stopped waiting to turn into the bus turnaround, and he had thought that there was the stoplights on the bus, so he started to cross, and unfortunately the stoplights were not on, and the oncoming car coming down the hill here just hit him.
Fortunately, the 11-year-old escaped with only minor injuries.
He had just a very slight concussion, and he was just banged up pretty good. So he had his nose was pretty swollen, and then he had some road rash on his face.
Soon after his son's accident, Canby launched a Change.org petition aiming to shine a spotlight on traffic safety. Following a similar accident that sent another young boy to the hospital on Tuesday, the charge has only grown.
Prior to today, we had about 500 signatures on that petition, and just today, it's jumped about 400 signatures.
Now, since the accident on Tuesday, Jamestown Public Schools in a statement said they'll be working with city leaders on rolling out a feasibility study about installing more crosswalks in this neighborhood.
The goal is to help maybe bring a crosswalk to the middle of Hazeltine, as well as maybe a pedestrian crossing light.
There are 2 crosswalks currently at the school, one on the north side of the complex and another on Baker Street, where a stoplight is installed. However, that light is currently not in operation. Jamestown Public Schools say they will increase supervision and monitoring during arrival and dismissal times to prevent further incidences. Now, during Tuesday's dismissal, staff was on hand to try and encourage students to use the existing crosswalks instead of simply crossing directly to the 7-Eleven parking lot. A Jamestown man is facing felony charges following an investigation into fake license plates. City of Jamestown police tell us 22-year-old Jonathan Camacho Monge was taken into custody yesterday and charged with felony criminal possession of a forged instrument following a months-long investigation. In mid-October, investigators noticed multiple vehicles in the Jamestown area that were bearing Texas temporary license plates. The State Department of Motor Vehicles then alerted officers that those plates were fake and not legal here in New York. Those temporary tags, police report, were purchased online from a seller for a fixed price for a month-to-month use. So far, police have seized a 2016 Buick Verando with an illegal license plate. Detectives are searching for several other vehicles, including a black 2005 Infiniti G35 and a black 2006 BMW 530. Anyone with information is asked to contact Jamestown Police at 716-483-7537, or you can make an anonymous tip at 483-TIPS. The number, again, is 483-8477. And a Cattaraugus County farmer is facing animal cruelty charges after allegedly failing to feed over a dozen animals and leaving them in deplorable conditions. The Cattaraugus County Sheriff's Office says that 73-year-old Larry Smith allegedly left 26 cows and 14 pigs on his Kent Switch Road farm in Leon without food or water. Additionally, deputies say that farm was extremely unsanitary, with 16 cows and 1 pig carcass not properly disposed of. Deputies say Smith voluntarily surrendered his livestock to a foster farm in Erie County. He was issued an appearance ticket and is scheduled to face the charges at a later date. Well, a New York commission wants former Governor Andrew Cuomo to give the state over $5 million he earned from his pandemic book deal. The Joint Commission's Public ethics hearing voted Tuesday to order Cuomo to pay the $5.1 million in book proceeds. Cuomo received the money as part of his contract with publisher Penguin Random House for his book, American Crisis Leadership Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic. The commission approved that contract late last year. The state attorney general's office is currently investigating if Cuomo used state resources for that book. His attorney accused the commission of exceeding its own authority with the vote, calling it unconstitutional. Well, several airports across our region are slated to receive a financial boost as part of the recently passed infrastructure bill. Congressman Tom Reed announced the news this week, saying one of the reasons he supported the act was to secure the much-needed funding to improve local airports. In Chautauqua County, both the Jamestown and Dunkirk air facilities are slated to receive $790,000. Meanwhile, the Cattaraugus County airstrip in Olean is also expected to get $790,000 as well. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comment section down below. We got to thank you for joining us here on Facebook Live and, of course, channel 716 on Roku as well. It is free to download. Be sure to add that to your channel lineup today. Great to see Wendy. Happy Wednesday to Tony, Rose, and Scott as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in. Well, now let's get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us now. And it was a pretty beautiful start to the day out there. I got a chance to see that sunrise directly, Dakota, but now it looks like the clouds really have set in.
Yeah, the clouds have moved on in for the afternoon, and it's going to stay that way through the day. We've also got some rain showers. Yeah, more to go through here. Got a little duck or a geese or something here in Chautauqua Lake enjoying the water there. 40 degrees right now with a overall light southwest wind, and you can see the rain showers that have moved through this morning. Again, mainly light rain showers, and we're going to see a few more as we go through the afternoon hours today. A few scattered on again, off again rain showers through the day, and temperatures are going to be mild today. Again, we're still above average here, and yesterday was another above average day. 45, the average is 37. So again, you know, we're nowhere near where we should be for this time of the year. 37 is where we started the day. So actually, coincidentally, we started the day 37. That was the low for this morning. That's the average high. So there you go. 60 and 12 below zero are the record highs and lows for this day. So through the afternoon, a good amount of clouds through the rest of the day. Scattered showers at times, a mild 45 to 53 is the high temperatures today. And it will be a bit breezy south, 10 to 25 with some wind gusts up to about 30 to 35. It turns breezy again for Thursday, near record breaking warmth, and then kind of goes the opposite direction. But is December going to be here? We'll talk about it in detail with that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show.
Well, New York's governor is doubling down on the importance of the newly reissued mask mandate in the state as pushback continues against the act. Governor Kathy Hochul defended her decision during a COVID-19 briefing in New York City on Tuesday. Since the mandate went into effect on Monday, several local and state leaders have spoke out against the act, including Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell, who says he won't enforce it. Under the mandate, masks are required to be worn in all indoor public places unless businesses or venues implement a vaccine requirement. In the end, Hochul says this is a needed step to slow the spread of COVID-19. Specifically, the governor says the objective is twofold: protect the health of New Yorkers and the economy.
It has a time frame associated with it, and if you want to contrast what we dealt with in the past, it was open-ended, there was a lot of uncertainty, and I believe that given that we're in a very different place now, that we have the ability to let people know that this has a deadline on it.
Hochul says she'll be assessing state data, and hopefully progress will be made by January 15th. That's when the order expires. Well, it's been 1 year since some of the first people were vaccinated against COVID-19, and 1 year to the day, the U.S. hit a somber milestone. More than 800,000 people have died from the virus since the start of the pandemic. As Britt Conway reports, the Delta variant still dominates, but health experts say it probably won't be long until Omicron takes its place.
My beloved Uncle John, and he was a really great person. John Zeem.
Everything is just, I have to get through this day. Don't worry about the next one.
Gigi Morse. 2 of the more than 800,000 people who've died from COVID-19 in the U.S. since the start of the pandemic. Lawmakers held a moment of silence on the steps of the U.S. Capitol. President Joe Biden says more Americans must act and get vaccinated, claiming vaccinations have saved more than 1 million Americans. But nearly 40% of those eligible haven't been fully vaccinated. In the meantime, new COVID cases are up nearly 50% from a month ago, and hospitalizations are up more than 40%. The Delta variant is still dominant. Omicron only accounts for about 3% of cases sequenced in the U.S. right now. But health experts say it might not stay that way for long.
Omicron is spreading at a rate we have not seen with any previous variant.
We are watching a war right now between the Delta variant and the Omicron variant.
It is going to be dominant in the United States, given its doubling time.
It's too early to say if Omicron is less severe, but
right now, many states are having major outbreaks. The healthcare systems are being overwhelmed. That's what we want to avoid.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Coming up, the new push to give undocumented immigrants driver's licenses. And later, we get a behind-the-scenes look at the just-opened Christmas exhibit at a Jamestown area museum. Stay with us as we continue on this rainy Wednesday afternoon.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones, because fire is everyone's fight.
This message was brought to you by the Jamestown Fire Department and the Chautauqua Safety Village.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Hi, I'm Al Steffens, owner of Chautauqua Comics. For the last 28 years, we have been your premier retailer of comic books. But we have so much more.
Located at 214 Fairmount Avenue in Jamestown, the shelves are stocked with everything from superhero to classic G.I. Joe and Star Wars. Looking for Pokemon? Chautauqua Comics has it all.
If you have any questions, stop in today or give us a call. Chautauqua Comics, Al speaking.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
An over $18 million capital improvement project at Southwestern Central School has been approved by voters. During the district-wide vote yesterday, the plan was approved 166 to 70. In addition, over 30 individual projects across the school were given the green light, including the expansion of the high school cafeteria and turf replacement at the football and soccer fields. Around 84% of construction costs are covered by state aid, with officials saying $1.2 million will be paid for by the district's Capital Improvement Reserve Fund. Additionally, $800,000 in district money will be allocated to fill any leftover funding gaps. Well, we're hearing from advocates who are calling for legislation that would allow everyone in Pennsylvania, regardless of their immigration status, to obtain a driver's license. Erie News Now's Brendan Scanlon reports.
Si se puede, or Yes We Can, was a message of the Driving PA Forward Coalition this morning.
Our immigration system is broken. It's not working. It's not working for working people.
There are nearly 11 million undocumented people in the United States. Advocates say many of them play a vital role in the economy.
3 out of 4 undocumented immigrants work in essential sectors of this economy. We wouldn't survive this pandemic without the work of immigrant workers.
Guillermo Perez with the Labor Council for Latin American Advancement says until there is comprehensive immigration reform, millions of undocumented immigrants will continue working to provide for themselves and their families, but not having a valid driving license makes it difficult. The coalition hopes to make it easier and says doing so would make roads safer by ensuring all drivers in Pennsylvania are trained, tested, licensed, insured, and accountable for their driving records. House Bill 279 is a legislation that would allow for undocumented people to obtain a driver's license in Pennsylvania. We're still waiting to hear back from Republicans to hear what they think of the measure, but we do know that only 2 out of the 40-plus sponsors of the bill are Republican. So it's unclear to tell at this point whether the bill will make it out of committee and onto the House floor for a vote. For now, reporting in Harrisburg, outside the state capitol, I'm Brendan Scanlon. Back to you.
Brendan, thank you. Now to D.C., where congressional members continue their investigation on what led to the U.S. Capitol riots. And yesterday, the Attorney General of the District of Columbia filed their own lawsuit to hold the alleged insurrectionists and certain groups accountable. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
Describing the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol as a moment in history we will never forget, the District of Columbia's Attorney General does not hold back the impact the attack has had on the nation and here in D.C.
It was like 9/11, a planned terrorist attack. But this time, our own citizens were hell-bent on destroying the freedoms and ideals on which our country was founded and continues to aspire to achieve.
Today, his office filed a federal lawsuit against the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, and members of these groups, alleging they were responsible for the violence of the January 6 attacks. The AG is asking the court to find these groups liable for the millions of dollars the district spent to deploy Metro police officers to the Capitol, along with the expenses related to the medical and mental health treatment officers still receive because of the attacks. The delegate from D.C. says the point of this lawsuit is to deter violence.
So if we don't get a penny in restitution, this lawsuit's deterrent effect will say, be prepared to spend money to defend yourself because we are coming after you.
This is just the latest development on the January 6th investigation. Just last night, the January 6th committee revealed text messages former President Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, received during the attack, including, "We are under siege here at the Capitol," and "The president needs to stop this ASAP." As the anniversary of these attacks are around the corner, the D.C. Attorney General is the latest to go after those they say terrorized the district and the officers here who are protecting the Capitol. In Washington, D.C., Rachel Knapp reporting.
President Biden is traveling to Kentucky today to survey damage from tornadoes and severe storms there. The administration has already set up federal disaster centers in some of the hardest hit areas. The president says they'll be working alongside state and nonprofit groups. He says they will be there as long as it takes to get these areas up and running again. The White House explains that the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, has already delivered dozens of generators, 30,000 meals, 90,000 water bottles, 4,500 blankets, and around 2,100 cots to families in need. More than 1,000 homes were destroyed in Kentucky alone, the governor says. The state was hit by at least 4 tornadoes. One stayed on the ground in Kentucky for at least 200 miles. Wow. At least 64 people were killed and 105 remain unaccounted for. When you look at this, Dakota, and you look at the damage, it kind of blows your mind. And the one shot that I think has become synonymous with this is that downtown Kentucky, small town America, where blocks and blocks are destroyed. You walk around and you think a bomb went off or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, down across the South, this is not uncommon to see tornadoes in December. Down across the South, the tornado season actually runs, the core of it runs from November until May. So it's not uncommon for tornadoes to occur down there. And, you know, the same thing we keep talking about, we don't know the ratings on these just yet. It's going to take days and days for these damage surveys to be complete. So, you know, because I know people are asking, well, I mean, you know, what's the EF rating?
Right.
I mean, we just don't know. It's going to take days, and they've called in some great experts like Tim Marshall. He's a great storm survey expert, and he's in Mayfield, which is one of the hardest hit towns, and he's there doing a lot of the storm surveys, and hopefully, probably within, I mean, I can't say when we're going to get the official rating, but it's going to be a while when we get all this. And
that for people who maybe don't know, the higher the storm rating in many government instances will relate to whether or not the certain amounts of funding can get to try to help these communities rebuild, which, you know, for a lot of them, they're still in this mourning stage right now because they lost their friends and neighbors in these very violent storms. So our thoughts and prayers are certainly with them. And unfortunately, some of that area in the Midwest is in the crosshairs yet again of some severe weather.
Well, I mean, here is a part where, you know, you might have been hearing, well, it was unprecedented for this tornado to occur. Well, no, not really. Down across that area, but across the Midwest, this is a rare occurrence. There's a new risk for severe weather defined by the Storm Prediction Center. That red core you see right there is a moderate risk, a level 4 out of 5 right here. That includes areas south of Minneapolis going down to almost Omaha, Nebraska. There's going to be another severe weather outbreak this afternoon and tonight up here. Across this region, it is rare to see tornadoes to occur or this kind of severe weather to occur up there this time of the year. But down across the deep south, no. But again, you know, it's just kind of how it is, and we're just going to have to work through it here. But around here, we have no severe weather, but where's the snow, folks? None of the other ski resorts are open, minus Holiday Valley. They're closed until actually Friday because of the warm weather that we've had. 4 to 28-inch bases there as of the newest update. They're going to try to hopefully make some more snow for you. And again, we'll just have to wait and see where winter goes because, you know, it's just been kind of murky here. We haven't had much snow, minus last month. Even though we were above average for snowfall last month, it just, you know. 39 is where we are right now as a noon hour with a south wind at 12, a rain shower being reported down at the airport, and the wind chill down to 32 degrees as of noon hour right now. So, as we mentioned, it's going to get windier once again. There is a wind advisory in place for Chautauqua County, and this also includes northern Erie County, Pennsylvania, right near the Lake Erie shoreline there. And the wind gusts, and this starts tomorrow morning and will run until, I think it's 1 a.m. on Friday is when that will go. And the wind gusts are going to be talking about maybe 40 to 50 miles an hour. Nothing like we had Saturday, okay? But it will be breezy again. So the trash can wind meter, yeah, your trash can might be next door again. If you have found your trash can from Saturday, or you had ordered a or you had to buy a new one, thanks to the winds on Saturday. So First Defense Doppler showing you some rain showers moving on through. The yellow pockets could be some indicative of maybe some moderate rainfall, but it also could be some ice pellets that could be mixing in as well. Again, ice is highly reflective, so it tends to show up very well, or it tends to have a higher reflectivity value on the radar. And you can see here, this is all in association with a shortwave trough, a disturbance moving on through, and the rain is going to continue here through the afternoon. So Future Scan shows that to you. Pockets of rain showers through the afternoon should partly clear out for the overnight hours, but we'll see a few more showers tonight. Tomorrow should be a mainly dry day. We're going to go partly cloudy or mostly cloudy for much of the day on Thursday, but we will see some rain showers returning through the day on Thursday, and that will bring in in those gusty winds as we go into Friday as well. So let's take a look at the zone forecast here. The inland areas are likely going to stay right around the upper 40s for most areas today with a mild touch to the air. Now, the next 7 days are coming up on the screen, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. 58 tomorrow. The record is 60, set in 1975. Don't think we'll break it. Decent day Friday. And then a wintry mix Saturday. That storm system could be interesting. Next chance for snow is going to be Sunday, but even going into next week, don't see much in the snow department. We'll take a break. Be right back.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Remember when you were a kid, huddled around the television waiting for your school to close? Well, we don't get snow days. When winter weather hits, count on the First Defense Weather Team for a look into the future where the snow is headed next. Live radar showing you the scope of the storm. And real-time reports from the field. So when it matters most, stay with First Defense Weather.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Noah. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
The holidays are in full swing at the Fenton History Center with a special display featuring the history of Christmas at Santa's Workshop. Our Julia Gress gives us this behind-the-scenes look.
This year, we've kind of made our interpretation of the North Pole in Santa's Workshop. You learn about the history of Santa Claus and what his elves have been doing.
As curator Victoria Parker explains, the exhibit includes one of the earliest illustrations of Santa's Workshop from a magazine in 1873, along with a full-size recreation on display. There are also examples of how Santa has been portrayed throughout the years.
The early memories of Santa Claus, it's a lot of homemade toys, right? So the elves in the workshop, working away. It's very similar to what Mom and Dad might have been able to build in their home workshop.
The curator also touts the importance of storytelling to the wonder that surrounds Mr. Claus.
A lot of the stories come from the legend of St. Nicholas, who was a real saint in Italy. And he is said to have helped a lot of people, but there was a family with 3 daughters, and they didn't have money for the dowry, so the daughters couldn't get married. So St. Nicholas threw a bag of gold over the fence in through the window, and they had money for the dowry for the first daughter to get married. And the same thing happened for the second one, and when he went to give the money for the third daughter, he found all of the windows and doors locked up tight. So he threw the money down the chimney, and it landed in a stocking.
The exhibit additionally incorporates Jamestown-made products, like a baseball bat and tools, as well as historically accurate decorations that the Fentons themselves may have enjoyed. The correlation of greenery to life in the Christian tradition, which is why evergreens are used to decorate for the holidays as well. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. The holiday exhibit is open through January 6th. Now this Friday, the museum is hosting candlelight hours from 6 to 8 o'clock when the exhibit is lit by candlelight. Additionally, this Saturday there will be a holiday open house with various activities, games for kids, goodie bags, and crafts. So certainly you'll want to check that out. So much fun there at the Fenton, and it's so cool to bring that history to life. And one of the things that I kind of took away from this story, Dakota, is how that tradition of Santa Claus was started, and then so many years later, hundreds and hundreds of years later, we're continuing it today. It's pretty remarkable.
Now, I have a question. So, does Santa Claus need to have a vaccine, or is he exempt?
Good question. That's all the time we have for it today.
Yeah, they're going to cut right off after that.
I don't know. That's a good question. I would think maybe Santa would wear a mask.
Christine Schuyler, anybody get a hold of us? I'd like to know the answer to that one.
It might be worth something to ask, Dakota. Thank you. That's it for us. We're back here tomorrow. Have a great day.